So what I'm dealing with here is fungal infections. Now the two main ones that affect grapes are the powdery mildew and the black rot. I got the beginning stages of black rot. Now powdery mildew is pretty much like the word says. You're going to notice the white powderishy look all over the leaves, on the stems. Black rot, you're going to find on the leaves, you're going to find these rusty spots on the leaves. And the fruit itself, you'll see on the young fruit that's not ripened yet, you're going to see basically black rot, or the fruit rotting or turning into shriveling up to look like a raisin almost, and pretty much just withering away. So for that, you're going to have to hit it with fungicides. Now I'm going to use an organic fungicide because I don't use chemicals and stuff on my property. Let me show you the things you have to do first before you start spraying it to alleviate this problem. Okay, here I have quite a few clusters of grapes starting, and the problem is there's too much leaves and everything's clustered together too tightly here, and there's not enough airflow. Now you get funguses, they're almost impossible to avoid, but you get them because you get a lot of rain during the spring. The leaves stay wet. Now these spores are in the air basically, or they're on the bugs that come on your leaves and they bring them in. But what you need to do is keep your leaves dry. Obviously you can't control the rain for the most part, but what we need to do is open the area up a little bit. So a lot of the vines have tendrils. And these tendrils here, they connect to everything. They'll grab on anything they can to support themselves. So what we have to do is find the ones that are all connected. Like over here, I got a bunch here that are all connected together here, and it's all clustered. We need to separate, like right here, they're connected. So we need to separate all that. Now you can cut them or pull them apart without damaging the vine too much. So, okay, here I got one vine right here. Here's another, here's another. These were all tied together with those tendrils. And, okay. Another thing to do, this vine here, see how long it is? But it's got fruit on it. So what I would suggest doing on these vines that have fruit on it is clip the very ends off like that. That will stop the growth of the vine and put more energy towards the fruit. If the vine isn't that long, then don't worry about it. Just leave it alone. Like this one here is only, I don't know, a little over a foot long actually. It's got a nice cluster on it. I'm not going to bother that. Just leave that alone. It's got two clusters on it. And some of these other ones are short with fruit on it. And again, I'm not going to bother with those. This one here, it's got some fruit on it. I'm just going to clip the very tip off. Again, that'll stop the growth of the vine getting any longer and put the energy towards the fruit. Here's another one. Now, if you have vines that don't have any fruit on it, and you'll find a few of those, you don't want to cut those all off, but you want to cut a few of those off just to open up the area so you get more sunshine. Here, it's a little hard for me because most of these do have fruit on it. But if you find one, let's see. Let me show you this one right here. Okay, so this one here has got a cluster of fruit on it. This vine here has got a cluster of fruit on it, but this one here doesn't. It's just hanging out. Now, the reason why I say don't cut them all, because those need they take the sunshine basically for photosynthesis and feed the plant. So you don't want to take them all off, but you want to take the majority of them off. So now I just cleared out a little space here so it gets more airflow and sunshine. Okay, this one has fruit on it. That one will just clip off. We'll just clip off the very end just to keep it from growing constantly. And that's probably a good idea. If your vines are really long and they have fruit, just clip the ends off. Because we're trying to grow fruit here, not vines. So here, all the tendrils are all interlocking with each other. Pull those apart and let the fruit hang. And again, this one here is pretty long, so I'm just going to cut the tip on this one a little bit. We don't want it to get any longer. This one's okay yet. And another problem is when the tendrils grab the other vines, they actually choke them. Being past the fruit, it's not that bad, not that big of an issue, but if it's before the fruit, it could choke the plant, or the vine, I should say. Okay, this vine here has no fruit on it, but we don't want it to get any longer, so let's clip some of this away. Again, it could still, take the sunshine for photosynthesis, but yet we're not going to let it grow anymore. Now, the next step we have to do is find the leaves that have the rusty spots on them and get rid of them. So any leaf that has that rusty spot on them, so we're going to need to remove them. The spores they're inevitable. They're just unavoidable. They're in the air and they want moisture. Okay, so once it rains a lot, they stick to your leaves and they find a nice home there, and that's how they thrive. Forgot that one. Cut the end of that one off. So any leaf that's got that rusty spot on it, there's a rusty spot right there, get rid of it. Yeah, I'm throwing them over here, but like I said, they're inevitable. The thing is to keep your plant healthy and spray it with fungicides. So I'm just going to go through here, and anyone that looks, even if it looks diseased, just get rid of it. That'll keep it from spreading to the other parts of the vines. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it's got that spot right there. It's that rusty spot. Okay, we're ready to spray with the fungicide. Now what I'm using here, this is by Dr. Earth. It's called Final Stop. You can use whatever you want, but make sure it says here on the top here, OMRI listed for organic use. Now this one here uses rosemary oil, clove oil, and peppermint oil for the main ingredient. There's other fungicides out there that uses copper. That's fine too. The copper is a mineral. So use something like that, okay? But the thing here is persistence. You have to constantly do this once or twice a week at least, especially after it rains. So if you get a good rain after it rains and the leaves dry up a little bit, go out there and squirt it down again. So we're basically going to saturate this entire grapevine here with this here. Now you got to shake this stuff up really good, and then turn the nozzle and you're ready to spray. And the stuff smells fantastic. It really does. It smells good. So because of all that peppermint oil, rosemary oil, and clove oil, it smells really good. All right, so drench everything down. The whole vine, everything. And then when we're done with this side, we're going to do the other side too. Get the entire vine and all the leaves, the fruit, everything. There, that should do it. Everything's soaked. And what happens, the water portion of the fungicide will evaporate, but the oils will remain on the leaves, and the fungus don't like that. All right, guys, so I'm going to continue on here. I have this vine to do. Rusty spot. And I got this vine to do, and I'm going to treat my little ones here. All these you see here. These are my Concords and my Elwoods on the other row. Yeah, I'm just going to treat those with the fungicide because I already trimmed these. They don't have any disease that I've noticed yet on there. They're young, but I'm going to treat them anyways with the fungicide as a preventative. So yeah, I'm going to continue on here. Ooh, this one's got it pretty bad. Boy, oh boy. Let's see if you can see that. So yeah, you see all those spots on there. So again, just if the fruiting vine has fruit on it, just clip the tips off of it if it's long enough. It gives more energy to the fruit that way. If it's a fruiting vine but there's no fruit on there and you have a lot of them, take every other one off. You want to open up the space a bit, get some airflow through there, and obviously take off all the leaves that have disease on them. And spray it weekly, especially after a rain, with a fungicide. And again, the OMRI listed for organic use would be my preference anyway. You can use what you want. If you want to put chemicals on your fruits and vegetables, and that's your choice. But I would rather avoid it. Okay, so appreciate you watching. Hope you learned something from this. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.